What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special Girl Power edition of Small Business Saturday, where Britt and I will be talking about 4 tips to make your local service ads more effective. Stay tuned. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm here with Britt as a special guest. Bernie is out sick. We hope you feel better, Bernie. Come back soon. And today we're talking about 4 tips to make your local service ads more effective. Britt, how often do we talk to people about local service ads in terms of making them more effective?
All the time.
All the time. It's a never-ending conversation.
Yes. Well, one, you on the sales side, I know you talk to a lot of potential clients and business owners all the time, but on the client side, we even get it from our clients all the time too.
Yes.
How can I make it better? How can I keep improving? How do I get more leads?
Yep.
So let's talk about how we can get more leads.
Exactly. So, Britt, talk to us about what the difference is between PPC and the local service ads.
Sure. So PPC, Google AdWords, obviously important for its own reasons. They are cost per click. So you don't necessarily get a lead when someone clicks, right? But you can, and they serve their own purpose. But on the Google LSA or local service ad side, you only pay when someone calls you. You only pay when that lead comes in, which is awesome. So you can get all these different, clicks and activity and things like that. But if no one actually commits to calling you, you're not paying a dime, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big thing is first understanding what it can do for you.
Yeah.
And then, making sure that model fits your business, which if you're a local service, home services especially, right?
Yeah.
Electrician, HVAC, plumbing, garage doors, there's just tons. Anything that's a local service-based business, you definitely want to be on the LSA, ad network if you're not already.
Yeah.
For sure. 2, definitely, reviews, right? We talk about reviews all the time, right, Jill?
All the time.
Reviews are huge from a Google standpoint, but one thing that I think that a lot of people don't realize is that your LSA reviews and your Google My Business or Google Business Profiles, it's now called, they sync together. So when you have that LSA dashboard and you have those reviews, if you're not getting good reviews or you don't have good reviews at all, that gets displayed right in the Google search. So if you're only showing a 2-star review or you have none, people aren't going to click on you because they're saying 5-star, 4.9 star, 4.8 star. They're not going to go with your company. So making sure you, one, get those reviews, you ask for them, you respond to them, that's all going to play a part. And that's also going to tell Google, hey, we have a good, track record, send us more leads.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And it's so easy to ask for the reviews as well, right? It's a part of the LSA dashboard where you can easily go in and just request all of those reviews, go down the line to all the leads that you had. So it's a no-brainer at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Yeah. And response time, right? You want to talk about response time a little bit?
Yeah. So I think the most important thing about the local service ads is making sure that you mark the calls as booked. So anytime you have a qualified lead that came in that you are having a tech go out and service, make sure you mark the call as booked. It's so important. I can't tell you how many times I've audited an LSA account, and that's the one thing that is always the biggest discrepancy is they're getting tons of leads and they're not marking any of the calls as booked. At the end of the day, you have to remember Google is sending you these calls. You need to let Google know that you are booking the calls as well.
Yep.
Just because they give you a booking rate, it's going to be a percentage based on the number of calls that you received and how many you booked. Obviously, you want that percentage to be as high as possible so that it's a good signal to Google that they can send you more calls because you're servicing what they're already sending you.
Absolutely. And I actually have a story because there's a client that I have. Actually, I feel like this has happened a lot, right?
Yes.
All the time. But one particular client I had, we started LSAs and I was very hey, you got to make sure you're booking your calls because they're going to start coming through. One of the things Google does when you set up that account originally, they give you a push. They start and say, okay, we're going to give you a little bit more of a push. We're going to give you more visibility. Those leads are going to come in quick, right? Right when you sign up. You have to make sure you book them.
Yeah.
And what do they not do? They didn't book
book
anything. So what that signal, you just said it, but that signal that you send to Google is, I'm not looking at my leads. So Google's all right, we're going to start pulling your ads. So I had a client that started really strong, They didn't book anything. They didn't do anything with it. And suddenly the leads just started falling off. I got a call. They're like, hey, what's going on? Like, we're not getting leads. And I had to explain to them when I looked in their dashboard, hey, you got to book your calls, but not only book, but you have to dispute calls that are not good. So it does take a little bit of time and effort, but you want to make sure you're listening to those calls, booking them, or disputing them. And the nice thing about disputing too is you get money back. You don't even have to pay for the call if it was a terrible call. Or like something that was out of your service area or not even for your service. If it was a crap call, you don't pay for it. So it's really, really important that response time and you're interacting with that dashboard to make sure that Google knows, hey, this is a reputable company that still needs to get leads.
Great info, great tips. Let's also talk about optimizing your local service ad page. What kind of goes into that?
A lot of stuff. This is like kind of like setup, but you want to also obviously like keep optimizing your page too. So when you set up your LSA account, your insurance, your license, it depends on the type of vertical you're into. Sometimes like with like law, things like that, there's different things you have to put in. But generally you have a license, insurance, pictures, right? Making sure that your booking hours are accurate. So like when you take calls, things like that. Your budget, making sure you have a healthy budget. You're not putting in like $2 a month or whatever. All important stuff, and just making sure that you have all that information. Whether you're veteran owned, women owned business, all these different things that they have. They have a ton of different things you can put in there, descriptions. And if you're not filling that out, then Google can't use that information to help you.
Right, exactly. So in short, essentially, as much information as you can give. Give as much information to Google that you can in terms of your bio and your setup so that you can get the best leads possible. And then also, best point number 2, mark your calls booked. If you're not in there, make sure you're doing it even once at the end of every day before you close out. Just go through
5 minutes
and mark them. Yeah, it doesn't take very long. So, all right. Well, awesome. Britt, anything else before we jump off?
No, make sure that you are utilizing this very awesome and basically free type of advertising. You're only paying for the calls you get, and there's no downside to it. So make sure you're involved because your competitors are involved.
And if you have a local service ads dashboard and you're not getting the calls and you need help, call us. We're happy to walk through things with you and do an audit as well. All right, so we're signing off here. Happy Saturday, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend. Woo! Let's do it. I'm down.
Maybe next episode.
Heck yeah.
All 3 of us.
Put all 3 of us in a room. Let's go.